show.
Thanks so much for having me yet again. It's my pleasure to be here.
This is Tech Yet Gaming.
Woo.
This is number 13.
Ooh, that's unlucky, but I have a good feeling about this.
I have a good feeling about it too. But I want to start at the top by saying, what's the deal with these cowards who are afraid to poop in the open, like, multi-stall restroom, and they take up the downstairs restrooms?
Well, first of all,
Cowards.
How do you know what they're doing?
Because they've been in there for
They could be
15
combing their hair.
for 15. Then that's worse.
That's not cowardly, though.
That's worse. That's more cowardly. That's more cowardly.
This is a controversial position you're taking.
There's no controversy. If you take up so upstairs, there are multi-unit, large, well, not very large, but large restrooms with 4 or 5,
They're like normal size.
normal size. You know, like 5 stalls and 5 urinals for the common people to use. And downstairs by the lobby, there's 2 single-person restrooms, right? Namely for guests, but there are a few people that work downstairs to use, right? Which is fine. But every time you come down here, they're locked for 20 minutes at a time because cowards hide in there. I guarantee you those people don't work downstairs.
Don't you think it's possible that it's just preferring luxury over pure cowardice? Like, if you have a choice between a terribly uncomfortable, crowded bathroom or a nice one, I mean, obviously you'd choose either.
I don't think that there's an abundance of comfort. I think it's an abundance of
Cowardice?
fear and cowardice that drives people to those restrooms, right?
I don't know that I agree.
I don't think they smell good. I don't think they're nice.
They're not particularly, they're not like super classy.
No. I mean, so, you know, I think the only benefit you get from being in that bathroom is your shame isn't shared amongst others, right? Like, if you feel shame about your natural bodily functions, then you can hide in there so other people don't have to know that they exist.
So would you say it's like for a realm for people who are afraid and just
children,
cowards?
just children. Yeah. Actually, children are braver than those
That's
people.
true. Children revel.
Yeah, children revel in their natural,
They love it.
movements.
They love that shit. So
While these people have somehow regressed beyond children.
All
okay.
right. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm glad we got that out there.
All right.
That's enough of that audio poison.
Yeah. So just if you're out there and you do this,
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Embrace the fear and conquer it.
Be a human.
Yeah.
Embrace
Be human.
Just be human.
There's a song about that I really like. So
More human than a human.
That's a good one too. Not
That
the
one?
one I was thinking of, but that one is good.
That is a good song. How you doing, Leo?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me yet again. It's a blast to be here.
Sorry for getting so fired up in the beginning.
Hey, you know what? It's good to get fired. It's good to be passionate. It's one of the things I love about you.
I just waited for a long time for that bathroom and then ended up having to go.
I hear you,
up
man.
and back
I
down
actually
the
do work
stairs.
downstairs for the record.
And there's just cowards taking up your bathrooms all day. I see people going out there that work upstairs.
Yeah.
And they just do it because they're cowards. But let's not get back into that topic.
Because we'll just keep going.
I could do the whole hour on it.
But we're not going to. What we are going to talk about, though.
Yeah, if you want to hear an hour of that, just email me, techyapodcast@gmail.com, and I will talk about it.
It would need to be a spinoff.
Yeah, it would need to be a spin-off show.
It could be,
Tech Yeah Etiquette, I would call it.
Ooh. Etiquette. I don't know. There's something there.
Tech Yeah Culture.
You're the mastermind.
Tech Yeah Culture.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, I was doing a little giveaway.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that. That was my first question.
And let's just say there's not an abundance of emails. So if you hear this tomorrow, which is Friday, and you want to submit because I said Friday was the last day, your chances pretty stinking good. Let's just say if you sent me an email tomorrow, you might have a 50-50 chance. Okay.
Nice. Not to undermine the person who.
Yeah. And let's be fair, that person has already gotten plenty of exposure and would probably be happy for someone else if they won as well.
That's fair.
It's not a family member or anything, but it is a super fan. But yeah, I would suggest giving it a shot.
We should remind everyone real quick what it is again.
It's just to be honest, it's a bunch of stuff that I've kind of accumulated through trade shows and people that give me stuff through trade shows. It's just kind of a few little trinkets and doodads that are pretty hard to get your hands on. But if you're into gaming, maybe if you like Dragon's Dogma, some things like maybe some Capcom stuff, you might have some interest in some of these little tokens I've got to give away. So a little care package, nothing too fancy.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get big into Capcom in a few minutes.
We're gonna get big into the world of gaming. After
there's so much. There's so much there.
It's so exciting because we're, it's getting to be late April.
It is.
May's around the corner.
We're getting close to that 6-month mark.
And you know what happens in June?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Summer.
And Computex.
But yeah, we're approaching E3.
Yeah.
Stuff's starting to leak. Stuff's starting to purposely leak. Everyone's trying to kind of get some kind of early balls rolling for some of the big announcements that might be coming. This is kind of we've been so dead kind of leading up to this.
It has been, yeah. We chose kind of an interesting time to start all this, which is good. It's been kind of it's been sort of, we kind of get to pick and choose, but I feel like the snowball's kind of picking up, and soon we're going to have way more than we can talk about in an hour.
Yeah, like literally today I was thinking like, man, what are we going to do for E3?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to handle that? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to just do a bunch of shows, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be there. So.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. We'll be there.
Maybe we'll just do like one super show. Maybe like we'll go to your house for a weekend and just like burn it out.
That would be fun.
We'll do like a 4-hour multi-release show or something.
That would actually be really cool.
That actually would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
We'll watch all the shows, even though there's no Sony one. But let's start the way we start.
I'm ready.
Leo, what have you been playing this week?
Well, thanks for asking.
Now that we're 10 minutes in, we can start.
You got to start sometime.
Yeah.
What have I been playing? Well, I've still been playing. I'll just get these out of the way. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, like I said. Although this is something I want to talk to you about. It's an amazing game. I absolutely love it. But I'm starting to feel, especially with this announcement of this new DLC, which is a killer trailer, by the way. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. I forget what it's called. It's called Fate of Atlantis, I think. If you Google Assassin's Creed Atlantis, you'll see it. So sick. Such a cool trailer. Best thing they've done in a while. But there's already so much DLC for this game. And I'm starting to really feel, as much as I love it, like it's too big.
Yeah.
And that sounds like such an entitled, stupid complaint. And it's not, of course, like you should get a lot of value for $6. That's amazing. Although I guess it'd be a lot more if you buy all the DLC. But it's to the point where I'm like, I kind of want to beat it, but I don't know if I'll ever actually be able to.
Yeah, it kind of kills it kind of takes the definition out of the narrative.
Yeah.
When it's like, when there's so much just things like around it, you're kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what's the actual story?
Yeah,
you know
totally. I mean? There's that. And then there's a sense that sometimes I'm like, I do want to have a time where it finishes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like this game doesn't. And to a lot of people, that's obviously a selling point. And to myself as well. I mean, I'm playing The Division a lot too. That's the other game I've been playing. There's no real ending to that either. Yeah. But that's a little different because it's designed not as a single player,
yeah, designed around being unfinishable in some ways.
So I think a lot of it's just because I'm sort of entitled and I have a lot of games.
What's funny is you bring up those two, but in their scope, really, there's more content in Assassin's Creed than there is in Division.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it's like the unfinishable one actually is far more finishable.
Yeah.
Than the single player narrative one, right?
I think if I sat down and tried to play as much of both as I wanted to, I would probably play way more Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
because it's bigger and it's but also it's more up my alley. I like the open world and it's fun to sail. But I guess what I'm saying is I've put a lot of hours into it now and I'm loving it. But I'm starting to feel like, dude, I will never finish this ever.
Yeah,
which kind of robs me of the motivation to play it, even though I do enjoy it when I do play it. Does that make sense, or is that just totally crazy?
I see that, because like that completionist brain, even if you don't have it, kind of kicks in.
That. I have that pretty intense version. And if you want to complete 100% Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can do it, of course, but it's going to take a huge investment.
Yeah, that apathy that sets in when you kind of realize, like, oh, I'll
never finish this.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, like, that's kind of what burned me on Apex, right? It's like the battle pass.
Well, it seems like they were actively discouraging people from playing, this is the opposite of that. But yeah, I hear
the battle pass just moving so slowly for me, and it just was like so unexciting, and I was just like, I don't even want any of this. Like, I'm not gonna. Part of my brain was like, I should finish it just because like finishing things is fun. But then I'm like, I don't think that's even gonna happen.
Yeah, because as soon as you get to the end, they'll move the goalposts.
Well, and even like getting to the end, like leveling that thing to 100, I was just like, I'm not gonna make it. Like I just do the math, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna get there. I don't play enough right now.
Yeah, you'd have to really
Yeah, and so I was just like, I'm just not in. I guess I'm just not that into it, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if that's kind of what's driving me away. Like as soon as they kind of rob you of that, like, well, I'm gonna get all this done.
Yeah,
it really burns that, like, it puts that fire out so fast.
It does a little bit, yeah. And again, it's funny because I'm complaining that there's so much content in this game, which is dumb. It's not a real complaint. It's more my sense of, if I can't feel like I'll ever finish this, I kind of don't want to keep playing.
It's not a complaint.
Even if it's an awesome game, which it is.
Yeah, it's not a complaint. It's just it's a psychology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And in some ways, it's a testament to the game.
Yeah.
But it's also, well, here's another example, like Breath of the Wild, which we both love. I think it's fair to say. I played a lot of that game. It doesn't tell you exactly how many hours, but I played well over 100 hours. I know that. And at some point I stopped, and I didn't 100% it because that'd be crazy. I mean, people do it, and all the power to you if that's the kind of person you are. That's awesome.
I did not either.
Yeah, most people didn't, I think, especially because you know what you get for the Korok seeds.
Even the shrines, it's like, no, there's nothing at the end of this.
Yeah,
so.
And once you beat it, you're already so powerful.
Yeah, there was never like I need.
Yeah, a couple extra heart pieces at the end of the game are pointless. So at some point I did kind of check out, but I don't think I'm going to get to 100 hours in Assassin's Creed, and not because it's bad, but just because it's like there's just too much here. Yeah. And then I found out last night, or maybe the day before, there's like time quests too that give you a different kind of currency where you can only use that currency. So it's like weekly quests or daily quests, which is fine. Again, it's a way to extend it for people who love it. But to me, I'm like, fuck, now I have to worry about that too, checking in every day.
Yeah, I don't like that timed exclusive stuff.
It does break the fourth wall a little bit. And again, none of it's mandatory. They're really good about you could totally just do the main story if that's what you want. And I totally respect it. I love the game, but I'm starting to feel daunted by it.
Yeah. And it's, I think the thing is that the reality, I think, to remember, and I think it's easy to take a a very kind of liberal, in the classic sense, kind of mindset and be like, just do what you want. Play if you like it. Don't play if you don't like it. But, as you develop these kinds of emotions towards games, like I was kind of saying with Borderlands 3, like all the people that are so mad it's only on Epic, they're still going to buy the game. And in the same sense, you play Assassin's Creed, you love the character and stuff. And then this time stuff comes out and you're like, oh, like this is like I love this game. And part of me is like, really falling for the predatory nature of I need to participate in this, right? Like the psychology of it.
Yeah, of course.
And
we're not immune by any means.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's like, well, just don't do it if you don't want to do it. But part of me is also like, yeah, I wish I was that person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's very well said. And I think also too, again, being in the relatively luxurious position that we have a lot of games to choose from.
Yeah,
that also is an important factor. It's not like when we were young, or at least in my situation, where you'd get a game, it could be the shittiest game ever made, but if you got it, you are going to play it because you don't have anything else.
Yeah,
we're not in that at all.
When I was a kid, I can remember literally just exploring every corner of every piece of every game I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially something that had secrets. Even back to Legend of Zelda, I bombed every
pixel,
every square in that game. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Literally every square in that game, I dropped a bomb on to see if there was, because there's a lot of places where there are just secret doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you got to find them all. So it's like,
it's funny you mentioned that. I was talking to Mike Ortiz today about this game on the N64 that I used to love when I was little for this reason.
Yeah, because
I got it, and it was a game that had a lot of secrets and a lot of cool shit that a lot of games didn't have at the time. And it was called Beetle Adventure Racing. Oh. Now hear me out, because I know that sounds ridiculous. It's a Volkswagen Beetle game. Remember when they first refreshed the Beetle and it was a big deal?
I feel like I've seen
Yeah, you probably have, because they put out this game and it sort of flew under the radar, but the game kicked ass, even by today's standards. It was probably the best racing game on the N64, which admittedly isn't there's no Gran Turismo on the N64.
Yeah.
But still, it was so much better than any right to be, or that it needed to be. And that's a great example of a game I played the shit out of. I would bash into every single thing, trying to find paths. I unlocked everything, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. And that's something I would never do now, because I just don't have time, or I just am like, all right, I got to experience a new thing now.
That's so funny. The one that comes back to me the hardest is Super Nintendo Mario Kart, and not even Rainbow Road or anything. Me and my dad would do Mario Circuit, the first course.
And just speedrun it.
Time trial.
Yeah.
All day. We would, for hours, we would just, he'd run it, then I'd run it, he'd run it, then we were literally shaving tenths. You know what I mean? Racing ghosts, and just always DK. He was the fastest. 10 coins, maintained top speed the whole time, and we just nonstop. And it was just so fun. And It's funny because you look back at Mario, Super Nintendo Mario Kart, and it's
good.
so bad.
It is not
and
good.
It's like, is this that game? Like, did I, you know, it's not really a great game, and but it is, like when you're younger, it's so easy to spend all that time grinding out a game,
and that doesn't invalidate it at all. Like that's time well spent if that's what you like doing. And in some ways, I'm sort of romanticizing that in my own mind. And again, I keep saying this, but it does sound so entitled to be like, I have too many awesome, incredible games, and it's true. But at the same time, it does in some ways detract from me fully experiencing, you know, everything a game has to offer in a way young Leo would definitely not.
What's funny is I think Assassin's Creed has all this stuff that's kind of perfect for a young gamer.
Totally.
But it's probably a franchise that's not that, you know, well loved by young gamers.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's a little too much talking,
reading.
You
know, like
it's a little too much history.
It seems like a game almost designed for 30-somethings. You know what I mean? Not, you know, not 20-year-olds or 16-year-olds or, you know, 12-year-olds that have all this time.
Yeah, exactly right. The bigger they make, you know, adult-oriented games, I guess if fewer people play them. I know there's some people who get into one game, and that is all they do, and that's awesome. I totally respect that. That's just not me.
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed's done well. This new
totally. No, it's great, and it's a wonderful game. I can't say enough high praise about it. I love it. I almost love it so much that I'm disappointed I'll never be able to finish it. Mm-hmm. And then I've been playing another game we could talk about in a little bit. But first, I would like to hear what you've been playing before we dive into that.
We'll roll into that. I'll say that one last, so we can roll right into it.
See, we're getting the hang of this.
Actually, we might want to go into news before we roll into that, so I'll actually kind of say
that's actually probably a good idea.
What have I been playing? I honestly have not been playing too much this week. My Warframe addiction was quickly killed.
Why? What? Anything in particular?
Spy missions.
I could kind of sense it cracking a little bit last time.
I was
You're
already
optimistic, but
I was already getting
see
frustrated.
The dark cloud.
So I was already getting frustrated, and I've gotten super far in the star chart. Like I'm at the last couple planets, and I was like, okay, it's fine. I joined a guild because I needed you need a guild to craft certain things, and I was just like, okay, I got some people for when I need help with stuff. So I got to a place where I needed to complete a spy mission perfect. You have to do all 3 spy parts perfect. And I was like, I'm not doing this. So I hit up my guild chat and I was like, does somebody want to run this for me? And someone's like, all right, I'll help you.
Oh, that was nice of them.
So they jump in, they do it, and I pass that part. And I get to the next planet and I'm clearing it. And there's I get to a point and then the node in front of me is a spy mission. And it's I got to go through it to get to the boss, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, I'm going to go around it, right? Because there's more nodes around it. And I start going around it, and these nodes end, and it makes me go back towards the one I was at. And I was just like, I'm not doing the spy mission. I'm not asking someone to do it for me again. I don't know if I'm going to boot this up ever again. It's
just hit a brick wall.
It's not I won't even try them. That's what's the psychology of it is so crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because it's I could figure them out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's not too difficult.
You could, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just I have so little interest, and I'm so feet buried in the sand. No, I will not do these. I do not want to do them.
Yeah.
And so I have not played it since. I literally.
Well, dude, I mean, the other argument of that, again, you're totally right. I'm sure you figure it out if you want, but at the same time, fuck that. It's not like you only have one game.
Yeah,
so be like, no, I'm not gonna spend time doing something I don't enjoy in a game just because I feel obligated,
or just because it's
especially a free game.
And that's the thing too. I said something about it. And people was every mission supposed to be the missions you like? And it's no, it's just this design for this. Yeah. This specific design is very poor.
And you could also say, no, it doesn't have to be, but every mission I'm going to play needs to be one I like.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying they shouldn't be in the game, but I'm saying I won't play them.
And that's what I mean. If it was one time or 3, it's just I keep running into it. You know what I mean? And it's just enough.
Yeah.
I'm enough. I'm done.
Yeah. I hear you. That makes sense.
I gave them $10 or $15 this time, so good.
They're
for them.
happy. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, everyone's
you got
happy.
A bunch of hours. You're good.
Yeah, I got a bunch of hours out of it. I'm not upset. It's just man, that's all I can say is man.
It is funny. You kind of were really fired up, and then you just ran straight into a brick wall, and all your juice kind of disappeared.
It's I don't like this, and it just kept the one thing that really bothered me just kept slapping me in the face. You know what I mean? And it's just stop, please. But it almost made me realize you're not going to escape these things. Just don't play this game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you dislike it that much, time to move on.
Yeah, I've almost totally fallen off of Apex.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
get the
over
impression.
it.
I'm even hearing, seeing articles that are like, wow, the numbers are just dropping.
Yeah, everyone's kind of. I mean, it's funny. Like Reddit subculture is hilarious, right?
Yeah,
because
that is true.
like if you go to subreddit stats for Apex, they're atrocious.
Really,
It is sad looking at like the posts and comments per day on that subreddit because it is like it looks like Activision stock, right? Like it's terrible.
Just little blips.
It's just like blah, 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 blah. It's just been falling since launch. And
what kind of comments are there now?
I mean, it's funny because anytime someone says like, "Oh, I wish they added progression," or "I wish they had ranked," or
I wish
or
they
solos,
fixed the things that are not good about
yeah,
it.
or solo. Everyone just, I mean, literally the few remaining sycophants are just like,
will kill you.
Are just like, how dare you talk about this free game, you entitled people, and it's just like, remember when we used to play games without levels, and it's like, move on, man.
Yeah,
like,
what is your problem?
Yeah, like this is, you're allowed to expect more. You should expect more. Games are like, people are like, we used to play Counter-Strike and it wasn't like this. It's like, well, you know what? If Counter-Strike didn't add the things it has now, it wouldn't exist.
Also, do you still play Counter-Strike, person? Because you're on an Apex Legends forum.
Yeah.
So why don't you still play Counter-Strike?
Well, that's what I mean. If Counter-Strike didn't add ranked modes and
of
multiple queues and tons of maps
and esports
and chests and keys
of course.
And skins, like people would not play Counter-Strike.
Some people would, but it'd
a
be
few.
the same people,
Yeah, the same people. The same people that think, this is the thing I've kind of hitched my cart to.
This is my identity.
Yeah, this is the thing I've hitched my cart to. It's my identity. How dare you challenge my identity?
Well, that's all this is.
Yeah.
It's people are like, I have to admit that that you're just pointing out the faults they already know, and it makes them defensive. People are like that.
The ways you see tribalism, like emerge its ugly head in everything, especially social media, and especially places like Reddit and Twitter.
Yep.
It's shocking. You know what I mean? It's funny because, like, additionally, you think it's just politics, and then you realize it's everything.
No, totally. And it's shockingly easy to understand and, like, see through. That's the transparency word. Like, that's what I always... Like, how can you not see what you're doing?
Yeah, it's so quickly obvious, like, what it is.
Like, even last time when we were talking about Epic and Steam, like, the people who are on the Steam bandwagon, it's like, why are you arguing against this? Like, why are you defending a corporation? It's just funny.
Yeah.
And even that's on a much smaller level. But
it's just funny because no one's stance is, I'm just not that big a fan. We'll see what happens.
I just don't really care for it. I enjoyed it, but I don't really like it anymore. And I'll play it later if it's fun again.
Yeah, or if you're enjoying it, being like, I understand what you're saying. I'm still enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like,
that's a valid point. I still like the thing.
Yeah,
and we'll continue to enjoy it.
Those seem like appropriate stances, right?
Yeah.
But everyone, someone called me retarded, and I was like,
it's either this game sucks or this is the best game ever, and everyone who hates it's an idiot.
Yeah.
Guess what? Neither is true.
Neither's true. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that emerges its ugly head.
Yeah.
What else have I been playing? It's funny. I did not play a ton of games this week.
That happens. I
was gonna buy Risk of Rain 2 off cdkeys.com.
Mm-hmm.
I did buy it, but they didn't have any keys.
So what happens?
Don't use cdkeys.com. I got
moral of the story.
I got a refund, but I was just like, well, because I told them I would charge back on PayPal if they didn't, because PayPal does like buyer protection. It's really easy to charge back. But I emailed them like, it's supposed to be instant delivery. Like, where's my key? And they're like, oh, we don't have any more.
Were they just hoping you didn't email them?
They said, we don't have any more. We're going to get some more eventually. Do you want a refund?
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is the other option? I
guess you wait
until maybe you get one. That's what it just was like shocking to me. I was just like, what are you even talking about? Do I want a refund?
Well, with a reputable name like
cdkeys.com. I know.
Are you sure it's not cdkeys.ru?
It's funny. Everyone, I told someone, it's like, developers don't get money for that. And I'm just like, probably. I'm not super worried. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's the capitalist in me coming out, but like, I'm not worried about the business model behind these things. Like, if they want to protect their assets, they kind of need to do that. Like, I'm not really the one to do that for them, so I'm going to buy from the lowest price retailer I can.
Yeah. And that's probably a way to get them out of there.
Yeah. Like, but so tried to play that, did not.
Well, I do look forward to when you do, because I've been hearing a lot about it.
And I tried to play some of the new Smash patch.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that in just a sec, but I booted up my Switch last night to start playing it, And I was like, oh, okay. And I started to download and immediately played Tetris 99 for 3 hours. And
as happens.
And did not play any Smash. That's the problem with the Switch right now is every time I pick it up, I just start playing Tetris 99.
Which is a pretty good problem to have.
It is a good problem. I love Tetris 99.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, people speak highly of it. It is fun.
Speaking of Smash, though.
Yeah.
So there's one game we haven't talked about yet,
and we
which
will.
we're saving.
Because we know what's going to happen.
I mean, I'll tease right now. It's Devil May Cry 5 because we said last week we were going to play a bunch of it, and we did. So we'll talk about it.
But we have a lot to say about it. But first,
I want to get into the news because Devil May Cry 5 is going to take us to the end.
Yeah, and it's going to be,
Okay, so I want to talk about the news first. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is that Smash patch, bro.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I think they probably added other stuff too.
Yeah.
But they add, well, I'll let you tell.
So they added a map creator.
Ooh.
I downloaded it. I haven't booted it.
Yeah.
They added
Tetris 99.
Yeah, they added a custom map creator.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome and also terrible. People are going crazy with it. I've seen some terrifying looking maps that I would never want to play on. One, it was just a ball that's spinning with lava on both sides. And I was just like, who? Like,
well, luckily you don't have to play anything.
Yeah, but I saw someone they had nests on that map, and I was just like, oh, that's terrible. Like, that's so cringy. Like, I couldn't bear to be nests on that map. But, so a map creator, some quality of life changes, but the biggest thing is they released Joker.
Dun, 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 dun.
You'll never see it coming. I love that song. It's so good.
The music's great.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, this is Joker, who's the primary protagonist of Persona 5.
And he's amazing.
He's amazing. The whole game is amazing, but he's incredible, and we talk about him a lot because he's awesome.
He's awesome. I love Joker.
Yeah, he's great, and they just put him in the game.
It's funny, especially in like RPGs. I'm rarely like all about the main protagonist.
Except Squall, who you love.
You better knock it off, right? But I'm rare. And Titus is the best.
Titus and Squall.
Yeah.
Lightning was pretty cool.
Lightning is pretty cool. But rarely am I all about the main protagonist.
Yeah, that is true.
And he's the coolest character in that game. Maybe one of the coolest characters in the Persona series.
Yeah.
And he's just cool.
Yeah,
he's just
awesome.
so cool. He does the right things.
Yeah.
He protects the weak.
He looks dope as hell
he
all
looks
the time.
Super dope. His cool, like quiet, kind of passive normal mode is cool.
Yep.
His Joker, like his alter ego is so different and so dope compared to like he's just so cool.
He's so cool.
And his little run when he wins is the best.
Yeah, every time you win, because it's an RPG, so there's a lot of battles. Every time you win, he's just running while all these beautiful, cool stats.
Yeah,
sometimes he'll like flash a peace sign.
So, yeah,
sometimes he'll just be. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Just look it up.
It's so cool. It's great.
Words can't do it justice. So anyway, it's awesome they added him to this game,
and they went all out.
Yeah.
Like what really impresses me is, for one, Joker's cool, right?
It was a good choice.
His two skins are his Joker skin and his school uniform.
Yeah.
When he uses his glasses to summon his persona in the school uniform, which is so cool. He's got the gun and the knife, and when you win, it does the windscreen from the RPG, which is amazing.
Yeah,
it makes me wish like when you played Cloud, it did the, you know what I mean? The
it did for every character.
Yeah, like if it did that for every character.
That would actually be really cool.
But him having it looks incredible. It's beautiful.
I wonder how many copies of Persona that'll sell too. Just people are like, who the hell is this guy?
Ton.
He is so cool, and then they'll look him up and be like, this game looks dope. Especially since it's coming to the Switch.
I have to imagine it's going to launch soon on Switch.
Yeah.
Like with him being live in the game, that community has got to be buzzing.
Yeah,
about.
I'm surprised they didn't do it closer together.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Yeah, I mean, I could see that being like a shadow drop for E3 or something.
Yeah, probably.
You know, but it's so cool. I'm so excited about it.
We'll have to talk about it more next week when you actually tried it out.
Yeah, there's like a dozen songs that are being added. There's a Persona map that changes with the music, like the colors swap and stuff based on.
I gotta
get it. It's got like the gold. It turns gold when the gold music comes on, and like it does different songs from different Personas.
I gotta get it.
I'm
gonna buy it.
Changes the color based on what song's playing. It's cool.
So cool.
His ultimate smash is all out attack. So everybody, all the
people show up and does it do the split screen?
Yeah,
thing?
all the Phantom Thieves jump in and does the split. It does the knockout, the reverse.
Yeah,
and they all come in, and then it does the split screen.
Yeah,
and it says, you never saw it come in or whatever.
Never saw it come in.
Yeah, that's so good. It's so good. I love it so much.
So here's the point, people. If you haven't played Persona, none of this means anything to you.
But play it.
But play it. You don't have to play Persona necessarily, but play Smash if you haven't already. Well, you should play Persona, actually. Any of them are great. But play Smash, and then you'll see what we're talking about. And then, if you want even more of that stylish Tokyo goodness, check out Persona 5. Yeah, and they do have a dancing game, which actually isn't bad.
It's a good game. But, yeah, and honestly, maybe play Persona 4, too, while you're at it.
Persona 4 is awesome. Yeah. I do think 5 is better and is more accessible.
I think 5 is much better.
But 4 is also sick.
Yeah. 4 is kind of the... I feel like Persona 4 is its own, like, series almost. Like, it's like the first game in a series. And Persona 5 is like the dope sequel that kind of did the things it did in a much better way. Like, because the relationship links are so strong in Persona 4, more so than 3. And
3 was like when they were first trying to figure it out.
Yeah, 4 kind of...
4 was like, oh, this is working. And then 5 was like, it's mastered.
Yeah, 4 they tried to make it big. 5 they're like, oh, this is how this should work.
And then God only knows what 6 will bring around.
Oh, man.
I can't even fathom what that's
we can't even
like.
imagine how good it's going to... How cool it's going to be, right?
It's beyond our comprehension.
It's beyond anyone's comprehension.
Even the people that are making it.
Yeah. Second news story. The announcement of the XboxSAD.
Why do you call it the XboxSAD?
Because it's the Xbox S. Why is it sad? S.
And discless. It's sad and discless.
Xbox S. Why does it? What's the A stand for? I can't even remember.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
It is XboxSAD. It is Xbox S. Something disc. I don't remember.
Someone tell us.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
It's called the XboxSAD.
What? I mean, it seems like so obvious that it is a bad name for it.
Yeah, it's a terrible name. It's a
terrible
name
for a terrible idea.
Yeah, everything about this thing is disappointing. I don't know.
The biggest thing is the price is way too high.
Oh,
it's
all
so
digital.
Stupid. Xbox S all digital.
That's why it's the SAD. Sorry. Yeah.
Well,
why didn't they? Why would they call it?
Why would they call it that? Why would they keep the price so high?
I was trying to think of like the D stands for disc. That's why I was getting confused.
Discless.
But it's $249. It comes with 3 games.
Which games?
Forza, but not Horizon.
Shocking. Does it come with Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves.
Are you serious?
And one more. What was the third
Halo?
one? No, and it's not Crackdown either. It's let me pull it up because I don't want to be wrong.
I don't think we did our research for this one.
No, well, it was so stupid that I was not at all interested. Minecraft, of course.
Oh, come on.
It is Horizon, Forza Horizon 3, Sea of Thieves, and Minecraft. You can see how much we care about the Xbox
in general.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking earlier about how I think the only way they could have done this well is to make it way, way smaller. Make it like almost like a Switch competitor in terms of like, hey, the other guys are getting bigger. We're going tiny. But to just have the same size thing, I'm sure it's a little smaller.
Same size.
It's the same size. It's just slightly cheaper, not near cheap enough, and less usable. That's
it is literally an Xbox One S with the disc drive removed. They covered up the slot, but if you open it up, there's the empty mounting space.
Wow. So it's the same even like chassis and
empty SATA spot. It is literally an Xbox S with a fucking $4 disc drive ripped out of it.
And they charge...
Yeah. Well, it's an HD, so it's already a $9 disc drive.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. The only value is some games you could get for $1 a month on Game Pass if you wanted to buy. You know what I mean? Like, there's only got 1 terabyte of storage, which doesn't make sense for an all digital machine.
No, it does not.
There's nothing about it.
Especially one that comes with 3 games.
Yeah, I get it's more of I guess it's a proof of concept for people.
For what?
I guess don't need discs. No one could explain to me
who is this for.
Who this is for? You know, like yesterday when we were talking on the stream about it, Dennis was like, I got kids and they scratch discs, so maybe then don't buy discs.
Yeah.
Then buy a regular Xbox.
Also, how do you even scratch a Blu-ray?
Oh, and just don't buy an Xbox and just don't buy digital games for it.
Yeah.
That's fine too. Like, you know what? Like, you just lower the price on a regular Xbox.
Yeah.
Because the disc drive's not costing you anything.
It'll be yeah. No, I totally agree. It's pretty incomprehensible. It would make sense if it was significantly cheaper. It would just be they were just cutting their losses, being like, hey, we got to get people to buy games.
Yeah.
But the fact isn't, it's so, I wonder if the price will drop super quickly.
I don't know.
Or if they're just going to pretend it never happened.
I think maybe they're putting it in a space so it's like $199 is the sale price. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, oh, it's Xbox
Even that,
One
I know
S.
it sounds so stupid.
It
Even
seems
that
like
seems
way
high.
too much money, right?
Like 150 maybe.
Maybe I wouldn't buy one for 150 bucks.
I saw an Xbox One S for sale for $200 with like 3 games, and I still wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, the
That's
Black
how
Friday
little
they
I
had
want it.
deals like that.
Yeah, and I was like, I should do this, and I was like, no.
Why?
Every Xbox game I can play on my computer, and the other ones like are not worth $200.
There's nothing you can't play on your computer.
There was briefly, but you're right. There's nothing anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing you can't play on your computer.
Yeah,
Better than the Xbox plays.
but I was just thinking like I gotta have one, but because honestly, I've bought every console that comes out for years, all the way back to like N64, and this is the first time where I could have totally bought an Xbox One S. I could have afforded it just to say I had it, and I was like, nah, I don't need it.
I feel like Wii U's the only modern console I didn't know.
I own one. I own the Dope Zelda one too.
Do you still have it?
I do, and it's in perfect condition, and I packed it back in its box. That motherfucker's already fetching pretty high prices on eBay.
Are you a millionaire?
I don't know, not yet, but maybe in 10 years.
You might be a millionaire, bro.
But seriously, I was looking and I was like, oh my god, I think this actually might pan out to be a good investment.
I feel like Regis because you might be a millionaire. All right.
Well,
yeah.
I think the other funny thing about the SAD, let's just call that from now on, is the other bit of news that we're probably about to talk about. And this coming out like right after that announcement is pretty heinously.
Well, let's move into that.
Ahead.
Tell us about what this new. You don't have to tease it. Tell us.
No, I'm not. I was just saying, if you had more to say about the SAD.
I don't honestly. I don't give a shit about the SAD, and I hope nobody listening does either, because it's a bad device for bad people.
Or if you do genuinely have a compelling reason, please let us know, because we're not kidding when we say we genuinely don't understand who it's for.
Yeah.
And there's probably someone out there who's like, this is exactly what I needed. I don't know who that person is, but if you're listening, we'd love to hear from you. We won't make fun of you. We genuinely are curious.
Unless you email me and say, like, Microsoft's the best, you're a retard, then I'll make fun of you a lot.
Sure.
You know, but if you do have a valid, like,
or even just whatever reason you have for wanting one, just let us know, because we're genuinely curious.
Yeah, like you don't know how to use a PlayStation or something. I don't know. Discs hurt your fingers. Whatever.
Well, who knows?
You know, just tell me. Please, just tell me what this is and why it exists.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
And while you're at it, hit up Microsoft and let them know, because I think their marketing team could use some encouragement.
It's just, I mean, the final thing I'll say is it's just a company that is seemingly trying so hard to ingratiate a consumer, right?
They're trying so hard and
just
stepping in the wrong direction on every level.
I mean, I don't understand how their games are so bad, how their hardware is so bad, or at least their hardware releases are so bad. Like, I mean, I think the Xbox One X is a great machine.
Yeah, it's well built and it looks
at
nice.
A price that does not seem plausible. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just none of this stuff seems to land, and I know that they're doing okay, you know, but it's just like none of it makes sense for a company that especially is like, we want cross-platform, and you know, here's a Netflix for games, and it's like all a great deal, and it's like that does seem like a great deal. And you know, it I wish I wanted to be in that ecosystem.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, it's like everything they're saying makes sense, but it's all slightly off. You know what it reminds me of? This kind of stick with me. It's a weird analogy, but like when you read something that was translated from another language, and it makes sense, but it's just off and wrong. I feel like that's what Microsoft is. Like, what they're saying in theory makes sense. I'm like, yeah, I should want that. But the way they present it and the way they foot the landing is just like, no, it's just wrong. It's always a step off.
It reminds me of like when the Aflac rep comes into your office and he's like, you know, you can have like extended, if you miss work, like we'll pay your. It's like, this seems like a bad deal.
You're like, what you're saying makes sense, but no.
I just don't feel like any. I don't think there's any reason I need this.
You're not offering me any value.
I don't think there's any reason
I
need
this. You're trying really hard to
this.
tell me you are.
Yeah, you're trying to give me all these reasons to sign up, but I just can't see a single reason why I want or need this. You know, and that's I know that's like a stretch of an analogy, but
no more than mine.
It's just what it's just that feeling of just like, why? Like, there's just no reason.
Well, and like you said, to be a little less cynical, because I feel this way. I really do. I want to like it. Like, I want an Xbox. It would be so cool. There's nothing better than buying a new console. But I just have no reason to. I'm not like not buying one out of spite. I hate Microsoft. It's not like that. It's just I have no use for one and no desire.
They say the right things. Like, I want to be a fan, right? Like I like Phil Spencer. I like the approach they're trying to take. I like the the marketing speak they put out, I'm like, that's positive. Like, that's a good thing. Like, that's how gamers should be treated.
Yeah.
Like, all of that I think is true, and it makes me wish I had a compelling reason to support their brand.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with you.
I have none. It's frustrating.
It is.
Because, like, Sony, the opposite.
Yeah, so speaking of.
Yeah. Sony, I wish I did. Well, I don't say wish I did not want. There's people in Sony I like Shuhei Yoshida a lot. There's a lot of people at Sony I think are great. But Sony as a brand, I feel, has not done a great. I mean, I think Cerny's cool. Like, there's certain people at Sony I like hearing talk and I like what they say. I think Sony from the top level does not make the most consumer-friendly decisions. Does not inspire me to want to support their ecosystem. But they have the best games that just exist.
A mile.
It's hard not to support them. And speaking of Sony, the next piece of news article number 3. We're already 40 minutes in, and we got a lot to cover.
We'll move quick.
We're going to move swiftly through this one. Is a Wired article that came out where Cerny had some tidbits in a dev unit of the PlayStation 5.
That is correct. So there's a lot to say about this, but there's actually not that much to say about it because we know very little.
And it's all, I won't say it's all speculation because they did have a dev unit, but
there's a lot up in the air.
And how much of that's going to go live? How much is up in the air?
This is very early, and of course we'll keep you posted as we learn more.
And there was some Pastebin leak.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read that.
No, I didn't.
Someone leaked a bunch of stuff on Pastebin about the PlayStation 5, and no one believed it. But then Cerny kind of confirmed some of it in his thing. So there's a bit of like, maybe that stuff is true. One of the things that came out on that was that Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive for a month, which would be in November to December.
Of this year?
Of 2022.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. That was one of the things that leaked. So
that sounds weird to
basically,
me.
they would spend a bunch of money so that for Christmas sales, you could only buy it.
That just sounds so specific for something that doesn't exist yet. But I could be wrong.
It is very specific.
That seems oddly specific. But here's what we do know real quick.
Here's a truce.
Well, here's what we know from what they've told us. This is the interesting part to me. They're going AMD again.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it's a second generation Ryzen, I think, or third gen.
Third gen. It's kind of
it's like a new chip, I guess.
It's the architecture coming out in the next generation for PC.
Yeah, and it's the same with the GPU, which it's a Navi, right?
Yeah, Navi, yeah.
It's a Navi GPU, so essentially they're using AMD again, which that's a whole conversation you and Bill probably have had. But I'm fascinated by the fact that Sony and Microsoft use AMD. How much of the AMD's like bottom line do you think that accounts for?
A lot of it,
because they don't sell that many PC desktop CPUs. They sell a lot, but nowhere near as many as you know who.
What's so funny is like working in this industry, and like especially me, I work in B2B, right?
Yeah.
Like, so we sell a lot of pre-built PCs, and so few of them have AMD
or laptops.
Yeah, they're all Intel.
Almost zero. There's like 2 models I can think of that have AMD CPUs.
They're almost entirely Intel. Yeah. So it's funny
and NVIDIA.
How prevalent AMD is in this space.
That's what I'm saying, and I feel like no one ever talks about that. Like this must be a huge part of their bottom line.
PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is, I think we're approaching 100 million units worldwide.
That's not small.
It's not a small amount of processors, especially. Kind of this custom architecture. I'm sure that they're doing, I'm sure because they're doing the chipset, they're doing everything.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's not just a CPU like they would sell for a consumer, right?
Yeah. So what they're saying is, this all aside, although this is very interesting, they're saying this means there will theoretically be ray tracing.
Yes.
Which means essentially fancier lighting. It's more complicated than that.
Yeah, but that's enough.
Essentially, that's what it means, which AMD hasn't done yet. NVIDIA just released a version of that, and AMD's talking about their version, which should be in their next.
And we're starting to see a lot of software kind of ray tracing solutions come out for PC and stuff too. So it's, as much as I feel like it's another NVIDIA where they got me, like G-Sync, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's the hardware. Oh, we got to have this hardware. Then they're like, oh, no, we can kind of do it on
just
everything.
Kidding. Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then the only other thing we know, as far as I know, is the hard drive, which is some fancy solid-state drive that they haven't quite confirmed what it is yet.
Yeah, and
it's not a standard SSD.
No, I assume it's going to be some kind of NVMe.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that's exciting about it is they're kind of reworking the I/O stack. Like, I think the thing that really happened with this generation is not only were they all standard platter hard drives, but they had to design games around them being platter hard drives on all of them, right? So, you basically are limited to the things you can load into memory or having a load screen to pull in assets. Right. Where with an SSD standard and a new IO stack, you kind of have all that space available on demand. It almost can run as memory if you're kind of a designer, right?
Yeah,
so
that's the whole idea.
So, I think they were showing Spider-Man went from like a 15-second load to a sub 1 second, like a 0.8 of a second load. And they also kind of zipped around the map, and he was just like looking around fast, and everything loaded instantly, right? You weren't waiting to load. Like there wasn't any pop-in for environments.
Yeah, no, for sure, which is great. I'm just trying to figure out, what is this proprietary?
I would assume
or is it just like a M.2 that they have in there.
I would assume currently, I wouldn't say that the hard drive itself will be proprietary. I imagine whatever that chipset is will exist. I think the I/O stack will be. I mean, I think consoles in general have had to be creative with the way they access memory and storage,
no doubt,
to load things better than they should. I mean, I think that's kind of where we run into this thing where it's like it's just a weak PC, but it's a weak PC with a low kind of memory overhead and
a weak PC that is designed to do a certain thing.
Yeah, it's kind of stacked specifically to use that memory in a smart way.
Yeah, totally. I think people don't talk enough about that.
No, but the other thing is it'll run all PS4 games.
Yeah, so this is the only other piece is backwards compatibility.
Yeah, and I think that's the main reason they put this out. I think Cerny, everyone's like, why did they leak this stuff? I think the main reason is
keep buying PS4 games.
Yeah, they probably saw some downtick in PS4 games as they're kind of limiting their releases and talking about PS5. And people are kind of tightening up their belts as far as how much software do they buy? Do they want to keep investing into this? And I think the main thing to say they came out and wanted to say was PS5 is going to be cool, and whatever you buy now, you can keep playing on it. Yeah. I think that was the goal of all of this.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And honestly, like, I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, it's a smart move.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly early days, and the negative person inside of me. Let me rephrase that. My negative, sort of cynical
Dark Leo
is like, Dark Leo. Dark Leo's here. It's just a weak ass PC.
Yeah, it is just a weak ass PC.
And at the end of the day, it kind of is. Like, I was hoping for something not to emulate the Switch, literally, but I mean not to like try and be like the Switch, obviously, but something new, something like that we hadn't seen before. And this, as cool as it is, and I'm sure there's plenty more to come. That this is what they chose to talk about was a little bit like, okay, so this is a new console and that's it.
It is, and I kind of agree, but I also want to play Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Yeah, hell yeah, and that has been all but confirmed, which is exciting. No, for sure, and even another PlayStation 4 that's better, I'll still be buying one. Don't get it twisted.
I want to play God of War 5 too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I want to play Spider-Man.
Whatever it's called.
Spider-Man, whatever version.
And Persona 6.
And Persona 6. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, no doubt, I'm getting one. Don't get it twisted. I just mean more. Okay, it was more like okay, they're going that road.
That's what I mean. That's what I was kind of saying earlier about how like I don't want to support PlayStation, but it's so hard not to, right? Yesterday, again, we were talking about some of the stuff on the stream, and Dennis was talking about how like, like I don't get. Single player games just aren't, as good anymore. They don't make them as well anymore.
That's not true at all.
Well, he only PC games,
okay.
Right? And I'm just like, you just don't have a PlayStation. Like, of course, you feel that way.
Play Red Dead Redemption.
You're on the worst platform for single player games, right? You're on a multiplayer, the multiplayer platform. If you had a PlayStation, you were playing God of War, and you were playing Spider-Man, you were playing Horizon, then you just could. These statements would seem so ridiculous to you, like they do to me. You know what I mean? Like,
seriously.
So it's like, that's what it's. You can't stay away from these places. They're just so good.
Yeah.
Like
they're insanely good.
Insanely good. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, Sony's just done such a good job, kind of copying the Wii success by just laying into first party so hard.
Yeah.
And developing such great first party games that their console is just undeniable.
Yeah. I think their hardware is fine. Like, I like my Pro. It's, it's good for what it is. It's built well, I mean, in terms of I don't have any technical issues with it.
I have a launch PS4.
No, yeah, I never get launch ever.
Yeah, and it doesn't run great, but it runs.
Yeah.
It plays all the games.
Yeah.
Persona runs great, so that's all I care about.
Well, Persona's a PS3 game, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is it runs great.
No, totally.
I haven't had any issues yet.
All kidding aside, that is pretty good.
I've heard Sekiro's pretty rough on it, but
I bet.
But we're not going to talk about that.
Wow. So anyway, we're excited about the PS5.
I'm excited.
I really am. I genuinely am. I don't want people to think I'm not. I was just expecting there to be more of a twist in the announcement.
I think the real thing about PS5 is Sony knows that they're like perched up like Batman on the ledge. You know, they're standing on the gargoyle's head.
Wow,
waiting to see.
You're really painting a picture here. I like it.
They're standing on. It's
raining.
It's raining. It's the middle of the darkness of night.
Thunder is crashing.
Yeah.
Lighting buildings.
Lightning flashes. A silhouette appears. It's a DualShock 4.
Don't hurt me.
Down on the street, you see E3 is coming. What is that?
Is coming.
What is that? That's cute. That's a cute little Microsoft coming down the street.
Oh no. This ain't gonna end well for you.
They're gonna talk about their Xbox One too.
Their XboxSAD.
But you know, I really think Sony's in a position now where they're just
1, 2. Sorry, that was a very good joke.
Sony's in a position now where they're really just sitting there like,
bring it.
Do what you're gonna do, Microsoft. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. Do you have Guerrilla Studios?
Yeah.
No, that's weird.
Whatever you say, we're just gonna change our plans to fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're not trying to compete with Nintendo at all.
No. And so, you know, they say things like this and they stay out of E3 because I really think they know, like, we're in a position right now. We're just we haven't signed any contracts with manufacturers yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is early days.
We're like, Microsoft's gonna have to talk about their new console at E3 because it's just, if they don't do it this year, I feel like they're gonna get left behind again. You know what I mean? So they're gonna have to announce, and based on how that goes, Sony's gonna either stay the course.
Totally. They'll just be like, oh, okay, you're doing that, no problem,
or shift plans, right? Yeah. Because, you know, honestly, Microsoft might make a bit of a comeback this generation, but Microsoft's trying to like change the game to get back into it. And if they do that, Sony's going to say like, no, we're just making dope games. Yeah. And we're coming out first and play these dope games, and people will, and they're going to get enough of a head start again where once again, if you want to play Call of Duty with your friends or you want to play Destiny 4 with there's not going to be any more Destinies. No. Bungie's done. But you know, if you want to play these games with your friends, you got to do it on PlayStation because they already bought one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it's devious.
It is, and I think that's it's almost devious what Sony's doing too, just with this announcement, in that it's a sort of a pseudo announcement. Of like, we have something coming. Yeah, you can beat PS4 games. It's going to be faster tech. That's it. Yeah. But even that was like probably enough for even us to get excited. It's
going to have the inevitable faster things you'd hope and want out of our new console. You could use your old games, so keep buying games. We'll get back to you after Microsoft announces.
Yeah, so we can fuck them up.
We can stick a fucking knife in them. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so true. They played it pretty smart, but it is pretty devious.
It's super devious, but it's great.
It's almost devilish.
It's almost devilish. And you know, Microsoft's gonna do something totally stupid.
Yeah, they're gonna
be like, we have the Epic launcher on our console. You know, you're like,
guess what? It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
We'll pay you to play Fortnite.
I bet they would. Okay, we gotta move on.
Yeah.
So there's one game that me and Leo both wanted to get into this week, that we both played a bit of this week.
I actually played quite a lot.
Yeah, Leo played more than me, and I thought I played a bunch. So I did 2 solid long sessions of it. But it's Devil May Cry 5. We've talked about it before.
Devil May Cry 5.
So when it launched, I played a few levels and really kind of gushed about it on here.
Yeah.
But, you know, now I've played 7 or 8 more levels, kind of put probably 4 more hours into it. Yeah. I'm not great at these games. So
I'm not particularly good at it.
I've actually been playing it on easy and kind of taking my time getting through it.
Yeah.
And actually I just bought all the health upgrades because it's like they work across all the characters.
Totally.
What a cool ass game. I want the Nico sticker on my car that she has on the van. You know, on the window it says Nico. The window it says Nico on it.
I thought you meant like the neon.
No, it's got a little like Nico sticker on the window. I'm like, I want that sticker. I want it on my window.
I just want her to like be my friend.
I want her to be my friend too.
She's so cool. But that's the point. Everyone in that game is so cool. And like, for example, V is a total dork, but he's just so cool as the dork that he is.
It's funny because like you see him the first time and you're like, I hate this guy. Yeah. And then like you see him the 5th time and you're like, I love your sandals, bro. Like, like
it is so true. He is very he grows on you for sure.
And he's the right kind of edgy. Like, he's not mean.
He's
you
not
know
mean.
what I mean?
He's very like withdrawn and kind of he's always smirking.
Yeah, where Nero's like the smart ass.
Yeah, he's like kind of a punk, almost like frat boy. But even he's he's always trying hard.
Yeah, he's always trying hard. Like, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
but he's always got that like. Like the way he talks to the demons, right? Yeah. It's just like, okay, like you.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a good Nero line. I'm sorry. But, like he's such a frat boy about it, right?
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, where V's like so the opposite.
Yeah.
He's just like, everything's a poem. And he's like, when I see the darkness, it must be eradicated. And you're just like.
And he's covered in like tribal tattoos, and he's wearing a shark tooth for some reason.
Yeah,
or like a claw.
Yeah, he should have.
Fucking those sandals are just so on point. Honestly, I think I'd like him 80% less if he wasn't wearing sandals.
And straight up like Birkenstocks.
Yeah, just something about that.
I wish he had puka shells on.
Yeah, totally. Something about that choice just really makes it work for me.
When it's just like the worst goth outfit.
Yeah.
Like it's not cool, edgy goth.
No.
It's like
super dorky. Like
it's like if your dad drew a goth character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and the other thing about the game is they play it so straight with such earnestness that's impossible not to be charmed.
It's beautiful.
They're so like our characters look ridiculous in a good way, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's beautiful. The game looks insane, man. RE Engine is just so on point. They can do no wrong with
I'm
that.
amazed that engine runs so good.
I agree. And I'm playing in 4K. And I keep having to check that I'm playing in 4K because it's running so smoothly. I'm like, it must have.
Like,
it looks amazing.
Hitches when this happens.
Yeah, but it looks incredible. To be fair, I don't use a frame counter when I play in 4K because I just don't want to know. Mm-hmm. But the fact that I'm really enjoying it, and it's an action game, like that's important. I would notice if it was dropping frames.
I play in 2K, and I do have a frame counter.
Yeah, I do when I'm playing 2K. But
and I have it locked at 120. Yeah, like that's what I cap it at. And it is at 120
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It runs like a dream.
Yeah, it runs amazing.
It's beautiful. And to be fair, it's not an open world. It's pretty linear. It's very like small levels.
Yeah, it's closed in.
It is. It's not like a terribly ambitious game in terms of scope. It's very in a lot of ways actually one of the things I like about it is it feels sort of old school in design.
Yeah, it's funny. I was watching a video on Giant Bomb, and they were playing old like reels from like E3s and stuff. You know, like they have all the old VHSs of like, like THQs. You know what THQ stands for?
I feel like that's something I did know at one point, but no.
Toy Headquarters.
No, I guess not. Wow.
What a terrible name.
Yeah, well, if we want to talk terrible names, we can talk about some PC companies.
Yeah, I heard that. And I was just like, what? That's amazing. But that was one of the things that came up. But they had the trailer for the original Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I was watching that, and I was like, this looks like not the same at all, but sort of the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kind of like what we were saying, like the soul still burns.
Yeah, it's a very jagged, very square, elementary version, but it's kind of the same,
Yeah, now that you mention it, I played the first Devil May Cry when it came out, and I enjoyed it. It was too hard for me at the time.
It was very hard.
It was. At the time, it was not. But I still enjoyed it, and I did get a similar vibe. Like, this is just so, like, over the top and Japanese and dark, but at the same time funny. It's an interesting combination there.
I couldn't love Nico more than I love Nico.
Yeah, Nico's incredible.
It'd be impossible.
She's so funny.
It'd be impossible for me to love her more.
She's hilarious. I just love how she drives this crazy-ass van everywhere. And it doesn't matter where they are.
No, like, she drives it into the devil tree.
Yeah, he'll be like, I bet you can't come get me here. And she'll be like, just watch me. And then like 5 minutes later, her van bursts through like a devil's asshole and lands in front of him. And she's just looking dope as hell, laughing.
When you get in the fight with those knights on the ground that's sliding off the cliff.
It was so cool. I love that scene.
And you kill them all, and then they just jump in the air, and the ground slides off a cliff, and they just land there like that wasn't really anything. Don't worry about it.
No, that's what's so funny. They're like
so great.
I keep having this thought of like, what if this was how your life was?
Yeah.
You're just so insanely powerful that nothing
bothers you.
Nothing bothers you. And this is just how their life is every day.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they do when they relax? This is a relaxing day for them.
Even when they're dying, they're just like, that's all you got. You know, and you're just like, bro, this thing's killing you. I have no health. There's no more health orbs.
Yeah, I'm stressing out way more than you, and you're actually there.
Yeah, we actually have to lose this fight. It's how the story's going to go. Why are you still talking shit? You know, and he's just like, I thought you'd be tougher than this. It's like, I didn't. I didn't.
You're dead. Yeah. One other great example of that is when Dante gets up, which I think is right where you are, and he's like, how long's it been? And they're like, a month. And he's like, a month. no wonder I'm stiff. And he just like rolls his shoulders. You've been comatose for a month because you got your ass kicked by Devil King. And the first thing you say is like, yeah, all right, I'm a little stiff. And then you just start going.
Yeah, like, oh, the sword must have been hiding his presence, right? It's just like,
you're like, wow, how'd you pick up on this?
Yeah, he's just been laying here next to a sword
30 days.
Yeah, for 30 days. Not hungry. He doesn't want some food or anything.
No, he doesn't roll with that shit.
He's just like,
none of them eat.
My lower back.
He's like, I'm good now though. Yeah. I rolled my shoulders once.
I just stretched. I just need to stretch. Right.
I think the gameplay is cool. I'm playing it on I believe it's easier, maybe normal.
It's
but
whatever.
I'm not
normal, but
I'm not challenging myself really because it's not a game I'm particularly good at. Like I've never been good at Bayonetta.
Me either.
I like watching them. But to me, that's what's fun about them.
I
find
Bayonetta a little frustrating.
Yeah, I actually don't like Bayonetta that much. I haven't played it, but I enjoy watching people play it.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more.
Well, it's funny because Bayonetta, like that sliding part on the ground, is like all of Bayonetta.
Yeah, you're flying through like space.
Like it is always you're just flying through space with just buildings collapsing and giant enemies.
Which is cool. There's something to that.
Yeah, it's fun.
But it's cool. It is like kind of like a fighting game from what I can understand. Devil May Cry, like it is all about learning combos and upping your ranking. I'm not playing it like that. I know that's how it's kind of supposed to be playing, but I'm just enjoying the spectacle of it, how beautiful it is, and how I just laugh. It's impossible to play that game and not like smile.
It's just so fun. Yeah, and it's funny you say fighting game because when I initially played it, I did not think of it that way. And I was having a really hard time like pulling off combos and stuff. Like I just couldn't get like S ranks and stuff.
It's definitely different.
Even on like easy or normal, which is easy, right? Devil Hunter is like what you're supposed to play if you're like a Devil May Cry dude. Right, which is the next mode. But it's funny because when I was playing it this week, it just kind of clicked like, oh, I should do a neutral air, which is a fighting game term, right? It's like a no button. Because I was always like with Nero, right? Like I was always like these arms aren't very good. You know what I mean? Like
the devil
like
breakers.
They don't really do anything, and they just sort of break. And I was just like, oh, because I'm always locked on. Like you have to neutral.
Yeah, that was something that took me a while. Like it's two totally different stances whether you're locked down or not.
So you got to do the kind of these neutral moves to do it. And I'm like, oh, like a fighting game. And then I was like, oh, so I should spin in some neutral attacks, right? Or and then I was kind of like, oh, okay, like I kind of saw how it worked and started kind of hitting triple S's and stuff on certain fights, longer fights.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Which is funny because it seems like so many times your rank is dictated by how long the fight is, not by how good you did. You know what I mean? But
from what I understand, it's all about variety is how they decide it. Like if you're just doing as many different things as you can, you'll do fine.
Yeah, it's not hard to get them up. But
I'm sure it is hard on. Have you read at all about the harder modes? Like there's a mode you unlock where all the enemies die with one hit, but so do you. I was like, that would be fun because that forces you to use essentially your long range, right?
Yeah.
But that's a totally different way to play the game.
That is a totally different way to play it.
Then there's, of course, a mode after that where the enemies don't die in one hit, but you do. And there's like, that sounds fun. It seems like a game that is initially very simple, but there's a lot to it. It's like speedrunning almost.
And you saw the live action cutscenes, right?
No.
You haven't seen those?
Nico in it?
On YouTube or anything?
No. Oh, you mean when they were making the game?
Yeah,
I thought you meant like a commercial or something.
The development
Yeah, I
cutscenes.
saw a little bit of those, but I should watch them now that I've played it. I should check those out.
They're ridiculous. I've watched a ton of them on YouTube.
Are they amazing?
I haven't unlocked them yet because I think you have to play on Devil Hunter to get them.
Yeah.
But they're amazing. They're incredible. Like just everything about. If you haven't seen these yet, even if you're not interested in the game, look up Devil May Cry live action cutscenes because it's basically like pre-roll they made for, I believe, animating all this stuff. So the animators could. Right, because if you're going to animate these crazy scenes, like you can't just do it from your brain.
No, you have to have some like more than a storyboard. Yeah,
like this. The one thing you learn when creating things that I've learned in like making videos for this and all that is you got to know what you're going to make before you make it.
Yep.
No one's a virtuoso. No one just sits down and is like, throw in some video here, add some sound effects here.
Yep.
Here's a cut, and boom, it's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like anyone that makes things good sees it good in their head or on a sheet of paper before they do
and
that.
Sees how to execute it.
Sees how to execute it. And so that's what these are, is basically like actors, or I assume employees, kind of acting out all the cutscenes.
Do they look the same?
They look terrible. It's amazing.
That sounds amazing.
And they have some like basic effects laid in, like someone just like ran these through After Effects and like, okay, explosion here, and
that's
like a light beam here. It's crazy. They shrink people down. Like they cut in like small versions of people or giant versions for bosses.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's insanely good.
Do you think it's worth saying that you should watch the original cutscenes first, or maybe the other way around? Or Or does it not really
I
matter?
bet there's places on YouTube where you can watch them side by side.
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be the way to do it.
But I might watch like a cutscene and then that one, or however you want to. I think on their own they're hilarious. I think the more context you add, the better it gets.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the cutscenes are so great in Devil May Cry 5. I think I love them so much. It might be worth seeing them first before they get ruined.
I think they're good regardless. Yeah, okay, I think so too.
Good to know. I'll check them out by next week for sure.
And honestly, like watching the cutscenes, you get to see all the Nico I've seen, and she's amazing.
She is the best.
And it's funny because you play that game, and I think my initial impulse was like, I'm not anti like fan service or you know what I mean.
I'm not either.
And I saw her and I was like, that's pretty heavy in the fans. You know what I mean? Like I was like, that's kind of extreme. But you quickly realize that everyone in this game is hot and almost naked, and you know what I mean? Like everyone's beautiful.
It's kind of like what we were just talking about. That's how their world is.
Yeah,
it's the same way that they just don't ever get hurt.
Yeah,
everyone's also super hot, and that's just how it is, and it's fine.
Just like the sexiest shit you ever saw in your life.
Yeah, and the other two women show up briefly.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen them yet, and they're from the other games. And they're the same thing. No one's
Lady was naked.
Yeah, no one's like, oh my god, they're naked in the game. They're like, no, this is how we all are all the time. What are you talking about? It's your problem for looking at us weird.
Yeah, we're all just lives. The hottest people that ever existed,
and everyone else is too.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, or don't. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, drink this in, right?
Yeah, look at this tall drink of water.
Yeah,
no, I totally
even
agree.
Even his stupid sandals, mega hot.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some girls who would just be like, oh my god.
Yeah,
exactly.
But Nico's my true love. Okay,
for sure. Nico's definitely the best.
Can't take Nico.
She is awesome.
Yeah, she's
the way they animated her hair is kind of strange, but I don't even care.
I mean, but I think that's what's so interesting about her is she's super like sexy, but she's also like not perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like her face and her hair.
Yeah,
it doesn't
the way they animate her face, you're right. Like her expressions are kind of odd.
Like they're kind of dorky.
Yeah,
right. Like it doesn't look.
That's true.
It doesn't look wrong. It looks very intentional and very on purpose.
No, especially I think that's a good point.
When everyone's so beautiful, it's like, oh well, they know how to animate faces and hair.
Yeah.
But hers is like what I mean. It's not wrong. It's just kind of got this edge of like nerdiness to it, where like if she was covered up completely and maybe a little bit less like just super ripped in tone. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she wouldn't be hot. She'd kind of be a nerd. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I think you're right. That's a good point.
And I think that's kind of part of what's so what's so interesting about her character, right? Is like she's mega hot and mega interesting, but in this way that isn't like what you'd expect or kind of what you would like be like, oh yeah, like that's my type.
Yeah.
I mean? Like, no, it's great. Totally I think it's great.
I think the fact they don't sexualize each other is kind of what sells it, because it's like they don't. That's just how everyone looks. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
like I said, if you have a problem with it, like you're the one who's looking at it weird because they're not interacting that way.
Yeah, like
she's not dressing that way for you, dude. She's dressing that way because that's how people dress there.
Yeah, that's how she.
And that's the same reason V dresses. He's not trying to impress girls.
No,
with the sandals. That's just how he like looks, dude. So be cool.
Yeah. This is how I live my life. Okay,
we're back to that again.
Mm-hmm. Live your life. Live your best life.
It's probably a good place to wrap it all up. I would say.
Yeah, I will say the game has some flaws. It's some of the combat can be very repetitive.
Yeah, sure. But that might be because we're doing it wrong.
I think even if you're doing it right, some of those levels are a little longer than they need to be.
I agree. There is some filler there.
I think if the game felt a little more boss rush-ish, that game, I think. I looked online. I thought it was very much shorter than it was, but I think it's
20
more like 15 hours.
Yeah.
I think if it was like 10 hours, it would probably
just like
feel a little sharper.
Out a little bit of the slice out like 20% of the hallways.
Yeah, I think it would feel a little sharper.
I'm still gonna finish it though. I'll have a better verdict when I think it's done.
Yeah, but regardless, I think it's still I think the flaws are minor, and
I think it's a game. It's a great example of a game that is just fun to watch as well. Like even when I was playing it here, everyone who walked by was like, "What the hell is this?" And that's not always the case. When I'm playing the Division, no one seems to care.
And it looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
Oh, and the platform is really bad.
Yeah, it's not like it feels old in some ways. It looks insane. It's one of those games where it's worth just watching the cutscenes in a let's play.
Yeah, I hate to be the guy that says don't buy the game.
Yeah, you should buy the game. It's fun.
You should buy the game, but at the same time,
if it's either you don't buy the game or you don't check it out, like check it out.
Yeah, at least check it out. It'll probably encourage you to buy the game.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, because it's fun to watch. It's fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is fun for your eyeballs.
It's a feast for your eyes.
Yeah, it is a feast for
totally
your
agree.
eyeballs.
That's the best way to say it.
The cutscenes are
and
so fun.
And it's just hard to play without smiling.
Yeah, it's super gross, but not. You know, it's funny. I watch Mortal Kombat and I get like queasy.
Yeah.
Like in the new Mortal Kombat trailer. Like, we were watching that on. I was like mad at Mike because he like had the Mortal Kombat reel like running the whole time we were doing the show, and I'm like, just turn this off. Like, it's fine for a minute, but having this going for the entire hour and a half is like
feels oppressive.
It feels oppressive, and it feels like not everyone wants to see this.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to watch this the whole time, and so it's like, you know, it's just kind of, it's just gross, you know. But you watch that, and it's Devil May Cry is also gross, but in a way that is kind of silly. And
I think it's that same thing again. I keep coming back to it. It's that same thing of like, this is just how the world is, because they're never like. They'll be like, this is gross, I have blood on me. But in like a way, the same way I would if like I walked into a spider web.
When they pull those... the
little creatures that like go into the vagina caves. Yeah.
Like, that's disgusting.
It is gross. But it just seems like they're just like, it's
But it's
whatever.
funny because he grabs it and puts it in his pocket, right?
He does that. Like, it just disappears.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. They
like,
put a lot of stuff in their pockets, and they don't talk about it.
And it makes it so funny, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny because he just grabs this disgusting thing, and you're like, oh my God. And he's just like, I'll slip it in my pocket. You're like,
because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, because
he only wants to murder demons.
The way they minimize it makes it so funny. Like, I think compared to Mortal Kombat, where they just kind of relish in the grossness.
Yeah.
And it, like, you know, it's like, look at this, look at the cross section of his split open face. And you're like, this is not how, I don't want to just stare at this. Like, can we move on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Devil May Cry does such a good job of just like, you know, we don't need to celebrate this because we're moving right past it to something else. Like, we're moving, man. We're moving, you know? And
try and keep up.
Yeah, try and keep up. You can't. Like, that's what's so great about it. It's so fun.
It
so
is a fun game.
Great game.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Let us know what you think.
Capcom once again.
Yeah, Capcom's just on a tear.
You nailed it.
I still think Resident Evil 2 might be game of the year for me personally. No one's going to agree with me, but I played that game probably more than any other game last year.
Yeah.
Or this year so far. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of like if anything else impressive has come out this year so far. Part of me wants to agree. I mean, Resident Evil 2 has so much great I mean, Capcom's definitely developer of the year so far.
Oh, without doubt.
You know what I mean? Like,
they can do no wrong.
Releasing both of those games this year is just like, man, like what do you guys put in the water over there? Like
something delicious.
And the Phoenix Wright collection? I'm not really care about that.
I'm sure it's great.
I'm sure it's great too. But okay, with that, we're gonna close it out because we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
But
if you stuck with us this far, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're a real doll. Thank you for hanging out with us. Once again, send me an email.
Full stop.
Full stop. That's it. You got to figure it out. No, techyeahpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook, Tech Yeah Podcast.
Yeah, of course. We love it.
Look us up on YouTube, Tech Yeah Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, we're about to do some YouTube action right now.
We're about to do some YouTube action right now. Thank you. We love you guys. And
talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekend.